Hello, welcome to No Humping Wednesdays.
I
So
love the title. I have to laugh every time I hear it.
I like having a little bit of fun with it, right? Because it makes so much sense. But yeah, hello to everybody that is joining us live. Hello to anybody who might be joining us later. Now, what do you reckon, Julia? Do you think we've nailed this? Do you think we've got this over? We are recording, it's live. Do you think we've made it over to LinkedIn?
I'm not sure, to be honest, because I can't see anything.
No,
But it's going to be fine. So let me check on my phone.
it looks like we're on. It looks
Great.
like we're on. I'm on my phone here and it looks like we're on. So yeah, welcome. Thank you to anybody that is joining us live. It's awesome. It's always great to have people here. And we will be opening up the floor at the end if there is any questions for anybody. But yeah, Julia and I came together, a few weeks back now, a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And both of us just said, like, why are we kind of like writing the same content? It was almost identical in theory. So I think it was just too much. It was a good opportunity, too much of an opportunity to miss and not do it. Yeah, so we are on because Dean's put on here all about the title, folks. So yeah. Good.
I still can't see anything or anyone or comments, so you have to deal with that side of things.
Okay,
I'm afraid.
it's all on me. I love that. But yeah, the reason it's No Humping Wednesdays. Everybody's heard of Hump Day, right? I don't know about you, Julia, but I always say if you're living for the weekend, you ain't living.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that a big part of it is trying to catch everybody in the middle of the week and keep everybody moving forwards, keep everybody moving positively towards the weekend and succeed like all the time, not just a little bit of the time. So and a lot of the topics we're going to cover is busting diet industry myths. So Julia's going to share one of her hot ones at the moment and I'll do the same. And we're going to kind of see where this takes us moving forward. So why don't you tell everybody, Julia, a little bit about yourself in kind of maybe like a short one sentence hit.
Is it the famous elevator pitch, right?
Pressure's on. You've got, yeah. Can you keep it to 3 words?
Yes, I can. So hi, everyone. I'm Julia. For those of you who don't know me, I specialize in getting women confidently into the weight area of the gym and away from the treadmill so they can build a strong body and mind. And I also work a lot of on relationship with food. So, busting dieting myth is my passion, basically. Yeah.
And I think it's so key, isn't it? It's such a big topic where a lot of females do feel concerned about going to the gym and training in the weights area, whereas realistically, like, if there's a lot of people who do videos these days who do stupid stuff in the gym area just to prove that nobody is watching, nobody cares, everybody is in there for selfish reasons, good or bad, selfish reasons. They don't care what you're doing. Unfortunately, you do get the occasional pictures and videos of people doing silly stuff, but there's some great people telling people to stop doing that, so we're getting there.
It's great. I saw this video of this woman. She came in a full pajama set and moon boots, took a pillow with her and a blanket, and took a nap right in the middle of the gym. Just to prove it. Literally, no one is watching.
Nobody. Like, yeah, like we could be doing this now in the middle of a gym set, and most people wouldn't care.
No, and you know what? Those who care usually are people who actually don't have it figured out themselves anyway. Like I always tell my clients, and especially like, when I talk to new people and stuff, if you go to like a gym, like where people are serious, like bodybuilding, CrossFit, powerlifting, all these kinds of gyms, you will get much angrier looking people, but much nicer people because people are there for the right reasons. Then if you go to your, I don't know, gym group down the road, like no offense to the gym group, I used to be there myself, but it's a different commitment.
And that's what I love. Like, I've not been to a public gym or whatever for years. I've always had a home gym, but I can see the gyms that have the community. I can see the gyms where I comfortably tell somebody where to go, even though I've never been. So there are a lot of gyms creating a community these days and a safer place to train rather than just taking people's money. So there are places out there.
Yeah, you just gotta find them. Maybe pay like 20 quid extra, but you know what? It's quite worth it.
It is worth it. It is worth it. And if I had to go with a one-liner, the one I'm going with at the moment is what I do is personal training on natural steroids. The reason I say natural is because we don't do any cheating or any drugs here, but naturally there is a better approach to what we do, and most people understand what personal training is. Not many people necessarily understand what we do in terms of coaching. It's kind of like, well, what, it's quite a fresh, still quite in its infancy, I think, coaching. Whereas actually it's returning incredible results. So like when I spoke to you about your results and other coaches that we may have watching here on the live, they all say the same thing, that the coaching is a complete game changer.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's still somewhat new and still somewhat like not sure about what it is, because I think people still think you have like a one-on-one Zoom session and then that's basically it, replacing the hour on the gym floor, which it is not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think when you and I first spoke, we, you know, both said like how the client gets so much more out of the whole kind of all-round support rather than just that 1 hour on the gym floor, which yes, it is important, but then what do you do with the next 23 hours of your day is even more important. And
Yeah.
you know, stress and sleep and everything else that is required to kind of not just get results, but you know, maintain results and build a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, coaching is really where it's at, I think.
Yeah. It's a massive change. It's the investment point. You know, when you pay for a personal trainer or you pay to go to the gym, you pay to work out.
Yeah.
There is other stuff with it, but when you pay for the coaching or invest in the coaching, you are willing to listen about habits and sleep and stress, like you've just said. So yeah, it's a huge game changer. Right, Julia, this is the fun part. This is the part that I hope everybody will enjoy. So we decided to have a little bit of fun with everybody, and we are both going to ask each other one question that we haven't told the other person about, so that you can kind of get to know us maybe a little bit more before we get into the diet industry stuff, so that you can maybe trust us a little bit more.
Or not, depending on the question.
Or not. Do you want to go first or shall I go first?
No, you go first, because it's like, I don't know, for the last 4 days I had sleepless nights because of that question.
Okay, so I literally just came up off the top of my head with this one, just again for a little bit of laugh. Julia, it could be anybody in the industry, okay? But who is your fitness crush?
Oh.
There we go. I'm going straight in.
Great. It's not as bad as I thought, to be fair.
I thought I'd start off not too bad.
Oh my God. I have absolutely no idea. Solely because I don't really, I don't know. I don't have crushes. Like, I'm boring.
But it's so funny because like I was like, I wonder if it would be the same again, because like I was like, oh my God, if she asked me that question, I'm like, well, I don't know, like who is in the fitness industry?
And I think also because I focus so much more on women, I couldn't even kind of, and the men, I could tell you right now, I don't like what they do. So even if I did have a crush on them, I wouldn't really, because it all plays together how they put content out there. So can I say a woman?
Yeah, 100%. A fitness crush, it could be just somebody you just look up to. Go for it.
Okay, well in that case, there's a girl called Shaun Virtue. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's like Australian, but she's like traveling between Australia and London, and she's great, and she's amazing. She used to be a gymnast, and then she does yoga and combines yoga with kind of weightlifting. She also does jiu-jitsu, and she's just she's fantastic. Everyone who doesn't know her, yeah, she's amazing. So I would say her.
But that's got a little bit he wanted to do it because to get a name out there, maybe, like, so that's perfect. But it gives some people maybe someone extra to check out. So maybe when we finish, you can, if she's on LinkedIn or something, maybe just pop her in the comments or something.
She's more like Instagram, but yeah, if you're on Instagram, I would highly recommend, because she also currently studies psychology, so she shares a lot about kind of these things as well with relationships and things. So it's really, really good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, my turn.
Right, ready?
I don't know.
What is the worst fat that you've ever done in your life? like diet or like a hack or something like that now you are like, I would never recommend that to anyone, but I did it at one point. The worst.
Okay. So fun fact, I did Herbalife. I was caught. I was
No.
very briefly, I was pyramid scheming. I had a website called Taurus Nutrition and it had
Oh,
Herbalife products.
lovely.
I did it. I'm sorry, everybody. I've lost so much credibility. No, but I was a young PT. I was sold the dream like a lot of other young PTs. I can earn more money and I could sell products. Hey, great. I could sell more protein items, but I wasn't in it very long because I got clued up very quickly to what it was. I got sold the dream and then I'm like, this is so weird. Like, this doesn't feel right to me. I've always been, from what I believe would be an ethical trainer. But I was a young PT as well, so I experienced it. I used them as protein. I didn't really use them as like the diet style that they sometimes promote. But yeah, unfortunately, I have to have that somewhere in my CV that at one point in my life I was a Herbalife rep. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Out of all of them, you chose probably the worst.
I got caught, Julie. I got caught. Okay, the pound signs got me, but not anymore.
It's okay. We've all, made mistakes. It's how we learn, I guess.
It is, but that's the biggest thing. Is like I don't regret any part of my process, even when I have made big mistakes, because it's all led me to what I know now. Like I've tried challenges, and I don't believe in challenges. I've done workshops leading up into sales, and I've had to test them and see myself, okay, no, that doesn't align with what I want to do business wise. So a few people are giving me a little bit of jib in the comments, and okay, I can take that. I've learned never again.
Yeah, I can see the comments now, by the way. I figured it out.
Oh,
I'm
perfect.
like not a tech savvy person, so bear with me.
Okay, perfect, cool. Okay, so let's dig in now to the kind of little couple of topics on what we feel maybe is a big problem in the diet industry right now. So what's on the top of your mind, which could help people that are like watching and listening today?
I think it's quite a difficult question because there's so much. And
where do we start?
Right. And every day there's some new, can I swear, bullshit out there.
Sorry, everybody. I'm going to have to
beep over my voice.
Bleep it out.
Sorry. And it's just, even for me, getting really not just frustrating, but confusing, and things you should do and shouldn't do. And, but I think one of the most kind of almost important things to maybe talk about, because it's one of the things that's been in and around for years and years and even like decades, is, carbs are the enemy, and, eating after 6 p.m. will make you fat. So I'm going to tell everyone a secret.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Your body doesn't know what time it is of the day.
It's so funny when you put it like that. Like, you try and tell that to my dog, like just before 4 o'clock every day. She knows what time it is.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah. So they're two like really, for like a coach, are like quite obvious common sense areas, but they have been pushed so much that a lot of people are like, oh, that must be my problem. And I can see the common sense in why people believe that, because we can easily overconsume carbohydrates, and when we're eating convenient food, it's generally carbohydrate. And also people overeat at nighttime, right, when they haven't eaten well in the day. So how do you help people overcome that theory? Because realistically it's a misleading lie.
Yeah. So first of all, which you just for a millisecond touched on, is usually you're more hungry and craving more foods in the evening is because either you haven't properly eaten throughout the day, right? Like, so typical example is, okay, I'm going to have like a Starbucks and a croissant for breakfast, and then not going to eat anything until 6. And then you get home because you had a busy work day or whatever, not get home and basically eat everything and anything in the fridge. Well, no wonder, because A, you haven't just not eaten anything throughout the day. You also haven't had anything that is kind of nutrient dense or actually fueling yourself and your body and your health. So that's reason number one. Reason number two could be you're tired and exhausted. So right now you're seeking comfort, which, the easiest thing to get comfort from is food. And, at nighttime, we have more time to do that. When you come home, or if you like work from home, whatever, you finish work, sit down, put on Netflix, whatever, and then just eat. So it's much easier because now you're like not busy enough to, watch out what you're eating. But has nothing to do with the time, just solely your actions throughout the day that you've done or haven't done for that matter lead you now to kind of seeking more comfort, being more hungry, being more like peckish, all these kind of things. Or just right now something else. When I work with clients and relationship on food, it's not just like that they don't know how to eat better, but it's all the stuff they're not dealing with in their life that is impacting kind of subconscious behavior and not wrong habits, but building habits in terms of seeking comfort through food and things. So, and like you said, we can easily overeat carbs because of course it's much easier to eat 500 grams of pasta than 500 grams of broccoli or chicken, right? It's just it is
so easy. Easy. Yeah, like again, like pasta and rice and things like that, they're not the problem. They're not the problem. It's just the awareness to know how much you're consuming, why you need that amount. That's where somebody should really be looking into. But we love the blame game, right? Oh, it's because I ate at 8 o'clock, or because I had bread at lunchtime. We love the blame game. Whereas when you do search at the reason why you're over consuming, this is why when I say like it's simple, it's just not easy, because when you find it, you're like, oh, I remember my idiot moment, like, and I was a personal trainer. I was a personal trainer that was struggling because I was doing everything that I had been told to do. But my problem wasn't the food or the eating late at night. I had a fear of overeating because I was struggling to lose body fat. But then that led me to overeating because I was chronically dieting to not get it. But when I look back at it now, I'm like, oh, you were a trainer. How did you not know this stuff? Well, I didn't know this stuff because I'd never been coached it. I'd never taught it. I'd never read about it. So it's so easy to see why some people might be struggling in that area. But hopefully what people are going to gain from coming here and listening to you sharing kind of what you're so good at, is they might go, oh, actually, yeah, that does make sense, and just give somebody a light bulb moment.
Yeah. And fun fact, when I started properly in the fitness industry, my eating got worse. And my relationship with food got worse. And, I used to back in the day, like struggle a lot with like disordered eating, and being in the fitness industry actually brought that back.
Okay.
But maybe there's another topic for another day, but also I think that's where like coaching is so important, and where I now see, and you probably as well with your clients now, a much bigger and better, impact and results, because now we have the time to work on these things, because now we have more time than 1 hour on the gym floor, which is actually dedicated to working out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because like I think it's quite common. A lot of PTs become a PT initially because they like training, they like working out, they go to the gym. I didn't fall into it in that way, which I think may have made a difference. But what they say, look, if you go to the gym all the time and you become a PT, you're not going to be in the gym all the time working out. You haven't got the time, the energy, the hours. Like, it's going to change. And I found that as well, like trying to keep up at a high level of performance for ice hockey, but then getting up at 5 o'clock to work with a client, working till 9, 10 o'clock. Like, I was exhausted, and my body shape, as much as my strength improved, my body shape was not working for me. It was massively working against me. So it's very, very common that you would have experienced that as well from what I've seen with other trainers as well.
Yeah, I think, and maybe, whoever's currently listening, maybe share like your kind of, experience as well. But it's also like, yeah, I didn't get into fitness because I hated the gym. Literally. I think I told
I
you that.
still do. I still
Right.
do.
Well, I don't, but so same as you, I didn't start in the fitness industry because I used to go to the gym all the time and loved it. I literally hated it. And here we are.
Yeah.
But because I also saw that so many, when I did get to the gym and work with my trainer and saw what it can do for myself and my life and my body. Back in the day, it was even worse than now that, especially women, all we have to do is, I don't know, do 3 hours of cardio every day and eat salad without no dressing. And don't you dare eat a piece of sweet corn because, again, it has too much carbohydrates. And I was just tired and fed up with all that BS, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I want to be strong. I don't want to live like Peter Rabbit all day.
Yeah, it's mad. It's absolutely mad how we've grown up with it, and we've grown to believe it to be the only solution, that you have to restrict and starve yourself. Whereas actually that works completely opposite to how your brain works. Your brain craves more of what it can't have. And guess what? It knows where to get it. We don't live in a cave anymore. Our food isn't scarce. We can probably walk, everybody here could probably walk less than 5 minutes and easily get food. And our brains know that. It will give us a certain
Don't
bit, and it's
even
like,
need to
look,
walk 5 minutes. You just get it delivered to your doorstep.
yeah, oh yeah, even that. Yeah, it's got even worse, hasn't it? But yeah, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, it's just creating a healthy food relationship is so vital in today's world, because we are up against it a lot with people who are just literally just trying to steal your money. Marketers are the best psychologists in the world. They're incredible. But hopefully what we're trying to break down some barriers here and get people to believe, hey, look, it doesn't have to be that way. I think I put it on your post earlier. If anybody is struggling with marketers getting hold of them and not releasing them, you do need to really read this book here by Robert Cialdini called Persuasion. Basically, he was asked by marketers to write a book because he's a human behavior psychologist. And he said, look, I'll write a book, but I'm going to write it on behalf of the consumer, not the marketer. So the marketers, you can use it if you want, but I'm giving them the tools to defend themselves as well. So it's a really good book to help against people that might be struggling with really, really successful psychological marketing.
And that's the problem. Most, and I say that from like a very, I don't know, compassionate place. Most trainers and people in the fitness industry, especially if you look like on Instagram, right, and TikTok, they're actually not, and I have to be careful because not all of them, of course. Most of them are just really good at talking a lot of things very, loudly and very, I don't know, being very good at almost forcing their opinion on you and their kind of way of being, and obviously looking good, whatever that means anyway, so they're doing well without actually having, and I think that's the problem in our industry as well. Everyone who looks good can put like a fitness ebook out there, whatever, not, kind of sell coaching without having proper education and proper background and actually credentials and things, and you have to be very careful who you listen to and who you take your advice from. And if that person gives you any piece of anxiety or not feeling good enough or not, deserve or anything, please run, block them, delete them, whatever. They're not the people who are there to help you. They're just the people who want to make money.
Yeah. Right. And it is scary because unless it's changed, I don't actually think you have to be a qualified PT to PT.
No, you don't.
You didn't have to when I started. I don't think it's changed. It's not regulated. You don't need insurance. You can literally just start.
Well, you do, but no one's kind of checking, right? Unless...
Nothing, absolutely nothing. And some people in the coaching field feel the same way because there's no, a lot of PTs have moved into coaching, and there's a lot of people in the coaching area feel the same way, that there's no, it's not accredited. So, it's the similar topic, but it's slightly off coaching. But somebody I talked to on Instagram sent me over a picture yesterday, and it was from a detox tea company. And it was a 21-day challenge to get from dress size 16 to dress size 10 in 21 days. Okay. She also then sent me the reviews of that company on their website, and they were all 5-star reviews. All 5. No 1s, no 2s, no 3s. There might have been 4s, but there was an awful lot of 5s. Okay. Now, common sense. You ain't going from 16 to 10 in 21 days. It's not possible. Even if you literally don't eat, like, it's mad. But they had 5-star reviews. Now, why do they have 5-star reviews, Julia? Do you know?
Because they probably pay people.
Bingo. Absolute bingo. This is a big topic right now, where a lot of companies are paying for reviews. Even now, because I've seen it as well, video reviews are being paid for.
Oh God.
Okay. This is where the trust element comes in. And what a lot of top marketers or content creators are saying is like, look, get your client on screen like we're doing now and talk to them. It's the closest thing you can to be authentic. And I get it, because we do look at those reviews. A lot of people here are watching. If they're looking at a product or an app they're going to use, they'll look at the reviews. And what it might have even been Chiodini that said it, or somebody that, hey, look at the 3 and 4-star reviews. Look at the 2 to 4 stars, because what they're going to do is they're going to tell you what they like, and they're going to tell you what you don't like. Yeah. They're the ones that's a lot more authentic than the person who's really angry at one, or the possible fake ones, or just this is the best thing in the world because it's Wojix's app. I don't want to say his name, but you know, it's very easy. Like, you've got somebody who's just like a cult member that's just like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. So they do say to look at the 2 to 4s. I need to go and get some, really. I need to maybe pee off a couple of people and get some 2 to 4s. But that's where it's so difficult to get people to understand. And that's what hopefully we're going to bring by these lives, is just breaking down these myths into reality, really. And kind of like, hey, look, if you look at it this way, does it now look as appealing as you thought it did?
Yeah. And this is why I always do consultations with people before I sign them up, because I don't want your money. I like literally don't care. Like, I want to see, do you like me? Do I like you? Can I help you? Are you able to listen to me and implement what we're doing? Do you trust me? You know, and then we can go from there. If I then feel like I can't help you, or, you know, because the work we do is very personal. It should be very personal. We are literally dealing with the human body, right?
Yeah.
And so it's super important that you trust me, I trust you, and we both kind of like each other, right? So we have that kind of good relationship going on, because otherwise it just won't work. And if you're just subscribing to random diets and fitness programs and, you know, whatever, and then you continue doing it, and you continue being worse off than before, I would really highly suggest to just stop and ask this, look yourself in the question in the mirror, ask yourself questions like, what am I doing? Why am I continue falling for this like quick fixes? Because that's all they are. They're there to kind of, you know, get you results in, you know, whatever, 6 weeks, and then kind of throw you off the bus. You know, I don't do transformation pictures. I don't ever have pictures up of my clients before and after, because first of all, it's no one's business what my client looks like half naked. No offense, Shaun, I know you do that. I respect my clients' privacy, but also they tell you nothing. I have to be careful to not swear too much to them. Sorry. They tell you nothing about what happened during this, however long it took, 6 weeks, let's say, you know, how many sacrifices do they like had to make. But also what I'm more interested in is seeing a picture 1 year after the initial after picture. And then we can talk. But not after 6 weeks, you're literally fresh out of Photoshop and, you know, completely dehydrated, you know, without any kind of carbs and, you know, whatever in you, probably miserable, and your wife hates you.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
So,
before.
um,
It's an interesting one, and I get it as well. It's all about the long-term sustainability of the result, because otherwise you're going to spend more money. You're going to spend more money jumping from app to app, from diet to diet, and it's a negative compound effect, like building a habit, but negatively. You're spending that money, you're just investing it poorly, and it's having a detrimental effect then on your mental well-being, not just your physical, because like it's a frustration. We've all been there. The frustration. Why is it not working? I remember used to talking to my bosses and the other trainers, like, yeah, but look, I eat salmon in the morning. Look how hard I train. Yeah, but look at what you're eating at nighttime, because you've chronically dieted and now you're eating like pizza and share bag of chocolates, but you're not telling anybody about that, are you? So it's a vicious cycle that it does need to be broken. It doesn't happen. And honestly, I saw somebody. I'm on an app, not an app. I'm on a Facebook group called Lightbulb. It's a place where press and people go and ask, is anybody an expert in this topic, blah blah blah. And there's one put up looking for somebody in the weight loss product company, saying that actually weight loss companies are actually now struggling. And I'm like, I'm here for that. I don't want anybody to lose their job, and hopefully you'll find something else. But I'm here for these companies now to start moving away or changing with the times and moving to that more holistic approach, more habitual approach, to actually start helping people and just to stop stealing money.
do you know, like, I just wish they just would start to be honest with people and stop the whole, especially if we're looking at certain programs, stop putting people on, I don't know, a shame pedestal where they have to half naked stand in front of a group in a dark, stinky room every week to just do a public weigh-in, just to then be called out and bullied because they only lost 0.2 grams this week or nothing. Newsflash, that happens.
A lot.
It doesn't mean you're not making progress. It doesn't mean, you've hit a plateau. It literally happens. And also, we need to understand to kind of how to read data. I explain my clients, the ones who do, not everyone weighs themselves I work with, but those who do, I have them actually weigh every day. And then we look at a weekly average rather than every week. And then you, I don't know, didn't sleep well, or you dehydrated, or, you ate a little bit too much salt, because all these things can kind of actually implement the, the number on the scale. So it's very important to look at your life and your day and your week and see, what have I been doing and why is this number fluctuating so much lately? It's not always the food. When you go on holiday and you, after 2 weeks, you weigh 3 kilos more or whatever, it's not weight, it's usually water, because you've been eating more, drinking more, sleeping less. Things
Definitely.
like that.
Definitely. Okay, now I think a lot of these lovely people have probably got some work to go back to. So if we were to leave anybody with anything today, an actionable tip that they can take away and use straight away. Now, you can either go with what you spoke about earlier with the carbs and the late night eating, or if you want to give them something that maybe is bulletproof against some BS, anything like that. If you could give them one thing that they can use today, what do you think that would be?
I would say, if you look at whatever you do right now and you do something different, you will always get a result then. So it doesn't matter if you do, I don't know, raw till 4 or keto or fasting or no carbs or, no sugar. Everything will kind of work short term. The important thing is for you to understand is, how do you want to live your life, and how do you want to feel living your life, and how do you want your relationship to yourself, your body, and your food, be, because that is supposed to then be how your diet should be. If that approach you're taking is leaving you miserable in the process, and have you leave all the relationships because you're not a nice human to be around, and you're compromising your health for the sake of losing a couple of kilos, don't do it. Slow and steady wins the race.
I like that. It's about removing friction, right? And it's not just, it is about you ultimately, but obviously if it is having a negative effect on others close around you that matter, then that's also vital as well. So this is why this subject is a lot more complex than losing weight. So yeah, I think that's a good one. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for everybody that's came. We got loads of lovely comments on here. So I have kind of been keeping an eye on it, which has been brilliant. If there is any comments or any questions you guys want to throw at us, Julia and I are more than happy to answer on this post. I think we could have gone on for probably another 24 hours on this.
Yeah. Guys, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, let us know, because we're planning to make this a series, but we can't do this if no one wants this.
Yeah, well, I can,
but so leave us some feedback. You know, what would you like us to discuss, things like that, and then we're just happy to kind of do that for you.
Yeah. Awesome. You've done this before, haven't you? That was a good sign-off line.
I've done lots of them in the past. I've had my podcast as well, so it's just I'm a bit rusty.
Hey, plug the podcast away. I'm sure it's got something on there that somebody can utilize. But yeah, I'll echo that definitely. If there's anything you want us to cover, we want to do this more often. I feel like it can really help. So I had fun. I guess we'll go back to normality now.
Yeah, I'm quite sad it's over already. It was okay.
Well, maybe we'll make it longer next time. I'm sure everyone will love that.
Yeah. All right.
David's just asked. Yeah, you grab that one.
Yeah. Shona Virtue. I'll put her name in the comments if you want, because it's a funny spelling. Not funny, but yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Julia, again for your time as well. Yeah, hopefully we'll see everybody on a Wednesday soon.
Yeah. Have a good day, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.